to a new UPbuild video, and as you can see behind us, this is not the Mini.
It's a new series we're going to start.
It is, exactly, and so we'll start with a little Ford Fiesta Z-Tech S, well-known little sporty Fiesta. And we're going to
go right around it and show you all the things that's wrong with it.
Yep.
Everything that's wrong.
What needs fixing, and what we'll do is we'll tell you all the little hints and tips and how we can sort of money-saving ways of fixing those things, making them right, and then along the way we'll tell you, or at the end we'll tell you how much we bought the car for, how much we spent on it and all the repairs, and how much we sell it for, so you kind of see how much we kind of make on the car at the very end. And then, yeah, it's like I say, beginning of a new series, so we're really excited to start with it, but let's get in the shed and crack on. We're in the shed. Let's just crack on with it. Right then, so we'll pull the car outside, as we said, so we'll give you a quick look around the car, just to show you all the little bits and pieces that are wrong with it, that we need to fix on it. And then we can kind of crack on with things. The first thing we did before I do anything, we had to get the car MOT, because the car didn't have an MOT on it. So we drove the car out and took it down to the MOT centre, drove it along the road and had it a pre-MOT done on the car first. And that came back with a ton of problems. I put the list on the screen so you can see what the problems were with it, but it was mostly all brake pipes. So I had about, I think it was about 6 brake pipes, Dad?
Yeah, there was a good few brake pipes, flexies and the steel pipes.
It's all like the main pipes and that sort of thing. So we'll have all them to do. Power steering pipe burst, didn't it, Dad?
Oh, the power
literally driving it off the drive.
Yeah, that was another job we had to do as well.
Exactly, aye. So, and that was literally driving it off the drive to take it to the MOT centre. So we managed to get that fixed. What happened was we've had the car maybe 2 or 3 months before we took it down to the MOT, and it's been sat next to a hedge, and I think I'll show you on the screen, it literally looks like a mouse has eaten through the power steering pipe, hasn't it?
Yeah, the tiny little done it. That's what I've done. It's been standing that long with it next to this hedge.
It's kind of like, so anyway, so we got that fixed anyway, and got that. That was obviously one of the MOT failures. I've got the list in my hand as well, so windscreen wipers, there was anti-roll bar link, the parking brake, all the brakes, that sort of thing needed all doing. But anyway, that was the things that we need to do for the MOT. And then there's a load of other little bits that we need to do actually on the car, the little odds and ends, which I'll walk around and show you now. So the list of jobs that we've got that we want to work on is quite a big one. There's loads of little bits and pieces that are wrong with the car that need fixing, just need sort of tidying up. Things like the headlights, they're all, you know, like really dull and worn, so we're gonna sort them out, we're gonna polish them up. We've got all like the black trims, that sort of thing, that sort of do, like the handles all pretty much nearly white, so we've got an interesting money saving method to do that. Some people might know these things and some might not, so some handy little tips and tricks I say along the way. And there's a tow bar on the back which we're going to sort out. We need to take the tow bar off the back. Doesn't need a tow bar, I don't think. The rear solenoid on the tailgate doesn't work, so the tailgate doesn't open. That's right, isn't it, Dad? So we've got to fix that. Yeah, that
was one of the jobs we had to do and all, yeah. We'll put new solenoid into it.
And that'll fix that, so then the button on the car will work inside, and also the button on the remote will also work.
Everything should work properly when it's finished.
Exactly, yeah. With all the badges on it, we're going to change, put all new fresh badges on where they're needed. We've got a puncture on the back to fix. Okay, so while we're on the subject of that puncture, let's get it fixed. I'll show you how we're going to do that. So you can see in there that the puncture was actually from the wall of the tyre. And I'll show you what's causing that. You can see the bubbles building up. That's where the puncture is. So we'll fix that. And then you can see there clearly how it's actually leaking all the way around the outside. Now I wouldn't advise this for your pristine new shiny alloys, but it'll get you out of a pinch, as it's doing here for us. And it doesn't matter because we're going to replace these alloys or refurbish them. Now there's the problem. You can see the rim is dirty. It hasn't been cleaned back when the tyre's been fitted because there's an awful lot of build up of old paint and maybe corrosion. So I'm cleaning it off there now, and you'll see once I've finished doing that, we'll seal the tyre back up again, and you'll find that fixes it.
Oh. That'll do it. Just lift it up and... Go in there with your fingers, man.
You mind?
Ah, yeah. Oh.
Go on.
Go on.
Fantastic, all fixed. No more leaking from the rim, as you can see. So that was just soapy water we used for sealing the tyre and for checking for the leaking. So we'll be refurbishing these wheels later in the series. But back to me.
Yeah. We've got all new mechanisms to put on the new seat.
The new handles.
The seats so they tip forward easy.
That's right. They're like the little tilt handles on the seats.
Yeah, tilt handles on the top of the seat.
One of the biggest things on this car, the biggest bugbear of it is when you drive it on any long distance, you can barely get into gear. You do 2-3 miles and it starts getting, you think something's getting hot, it doesn't work. So we've got that to fix. We know what the problem is. We'll show you what that is. It's quite an interesting fix, a dead easy fix. Costs you nothing to do. Yeah. So that's great. So I think what we'll do is we'll get the car back in the garage again, and then we'll just crack on and get some of these fixed and show you along the way what we're going to do. Can I get out of it? That's the thing. Fantastic. What's that like? Brilliant. Let's get it fixed. Whew, well that was a late shift tonight, changing that lot. 20 to 9. As you can see, it definitely needed changing. Every brake pipe. Right then, fantastic. So that's all the brake pipes done. We did the 2 front ones, either wheel, either caliber. Then the 2 main pipes running through the car, and we've done the back ones as well on one side. I didn't bother filming it all and showing you because it's pretty boring just looking at us ripping brake pipes out and putting new brake pipes in. What I did do though is I've left the back one to show you. So we need to make this little solid pipe here that goes into the drum. You've got the flexi, obviously we're going to replace the flexi as well. That's the back end of the main pipe that runs the whole body of the car, right to the front. So yeah, like I say, I've left this little pipe here to make up, so we're going to make that one up now on the camera. So we'll get some nice detailed shots of that. I'm going to show you what we use for getting the unions apart, because that could be tricky. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to show you what we'll do with that. Right then, so what I've done is I've just laid a few tools out that I'm going to be using. I'm getting my plumbing tools out, the pump grips, little pipe bender, a couple of tools I'm not going to be using, a little pipe spanners for the brake pipe spanners, and then a couple of wire wheels, a little bit of strimmer cord. I'll show you what that's for, and some sockets. I think you see them. We've just got a cheap sort of like little pipe flaring tool, clock tool. There are much better ones. We've used that for years, and we must get a better one. Keep thinking about keep going to get a better one, but anyway, there are much better ones if you have a look. But they work fine. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to use. I'll crack on and get it done and show you where we get to. First thing to do is get that union apart. I want to show you how I'm going to do that. So right, the first thing, obviously, that's going to be on the car when you're taking that off, and it's often hard to get into in the car, so I've got it out to show you, make it a bit easier to show you really. I'm going to put it in the vise, so I'm kind of cheating by putting it in the vise, but that's what I'm going to do. Right, now then, clean it off. One thing I forgot to mention was important penetrating oil, WD-40. What I would have done was definitely put some of this on a couple of days before you're going to do the job on the car, obviously. I mean, a lot of people are going to know these things, but it's handy to have, handy to hear the tips and tricks if you haven't heard them before. So yeah, bit of WD-40 on, works wonders. And then the trick I find is, these are the tools I like to use. So on the car, I'll grip it with the big pump grips. These are really good Rothenberg pump grips from my plumbing days. So, and I love using these. These are absolutely fantastic. They've got so much grip in the jaws. And so the reason why I was mentioning before, I don't like using the little brake pipe spanners is because they're not, you never get a very good tight grip of the union, because the union generally is, you know, worn away. 11mm spanner, you probably could bash a 10mm spanner on if it's an 11mm fitting, so you never really get a very good tight fit, and you just end up rounding them out. And so it doesn't matter how rounded the route I find with these, I can always get them off. So obviously, like I say, on the car, I'll use the big ones to hold the union on the car like that, and then what I'll do is then use the smaller ones. Sometimes I need to use the smallest ones to get in of the grips, but I'll use I think I'll probably get in with that one. Yeah, that one's fine, and the amount of grip you can get on with these is just fantastic. So I'll use those to actually, I've got the one at the bottom. You want them the opposite way around, so that obviously you can kind of see the way I'm working them. That one wants to be that way, so grips. I've got that, so there we go. So we'll have that on there like that, and then do this, and there we go. It's free. It's fantastic. That's come apart very easy. It didn't look so good when I first started before I cleaned it, but as you can see, it's come apart once it's been cleaned up. But I mean, you get much worse. The unions, I know they get much worse than that. But those grips are they're just fantastic. There we go. If you're replacing unions, which, to be honest, for the price of unions are so cheap, you may as well just replace them with new ones than try and reuse old unions. But like I said, it doesn't matter how worn away the unions are, I can always get them apart with these grips and cut them apart. Sometimes you want to reuse the flexi, so you want to get the union out of the flexi, or you want to reuse one section, so you've got to try and free that union out of one side rather than just binning the whole thing. That's taking it apart anyway. Right, I'll not bore you with any more of that. Let's get the pipe made up. Right, now, as you can see, I've got my pipe benders with us, but the problem I've got with that is you can see the sharpness of the bends on that, or they're too sharp for the pipe bender, which I'll show you quickly. So it's not going to work. That's the sharpest bend I can make with the pipe bender. You could kind of probably get away with that. That puts the bend in, and you can just massage that to the size you want it to be. The problem you're going to have is with that, you don't want to kink the pipe, which is one of the reasons why I've got the strimmer cord with us, because what I can do is I'm going to use another method to make that bend in that pipe a bit to get it tighter, which I'll show you in a second. But what I will use for doing that bend is the strimmer cord. What you can do is just push the strimmer cord up through the pipe. This is 2.5mm, so I need to clean that end out. See, it'll go in that one. The end's cleaned out. The strimmer cord will just push through into the pipe, and it just helps the pipe from collapsing. So I think that's 2.5mm strimmer cord I'm using there. Some decent quality stuff. It's some still cord, but you can pop that through the pipe, and it'll just help it stop it from collapsing when you're putting the bend in. As I was saying, if you try and nip that, it might collapse the pipe inside or pinch it. So yeah, that's what I've got the strimmer cord for. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use, to put the bend in, the sharp bend that I've got there, or that I need there, I'm going to use the sockets to do that. So I'm going to match up the socket that fits best into those bends. So let's think. That's probably going to be the biggest one. Actually, these actually are quite good as well, because they've got a bit of a shoulder on them. Yeah, so that's pretty good. How well you can see that. That's pretty good, that. And what I'm going to do is, I'll show you. Get myself a ring spanner. Put the ring spanner on the pipe like that, and just hold the socket on the end of it. Oops, dude. Like that, and you can just roll the pipe around the socket. So what I need to do is, before I do that, is, as I showed you before, put your cord in so you don't crush the pipe. like so. I'm just going to roll that pipe around there just so I can grip it with a socket. Now I'm going to put this one here in. It's kind of tricky, but once you've done it a couple of times, you'll get used to it. It's just getting the spanner on. See what I'm going to do there. So I'm just going to start curving it from where I'm at, where I put my thumb on before. I've got a rough idea, I know where I need to be. Keep sizing it up against your old brake pipe. Close enough. Right, now I need that one there. It's a lot easier when I'm not doing it in front of the camera. Great. Now just pull the cord back out, and if I pull the cord back out, I know it hasn't collapsed the pipe. There we go. That's fine. So I know that now brake fluid's going to run through that. Now what I need to do is just put my unions on, which I'm going to use the little Clark union kit, and then put that pipe on the car. There we go, all done. Well, fantastic. There we go. So that's all the work done for the MOT. I think all the work's kind of pretty much tied up, isn't it? We've got
all tied up now, yes. The brake pipes has all been done. All the steel pipes been took off. Copper brake pipes been put on. Flexi pipes.
Aye, on the back there and everything. So about eight brake pipes, I think it was, something like that. Just brake pipes.
Quite a few.
Do brake pipes and we sleep tonight. But yeah, the only thing we haven't showed you what to do is we'll have the system's all still to bleed. We've got a tool which we'll use for doing that. It's quite a cheap tool you can buy off the internet, very easy. You can do it yourself at home, but there's a process to do that. What we'll do is we're going to hold that, we'll show you that next weekend, Saturday. We're going to have the next episode of our UPbuild Revivals next Saturday. This is obviously the first of our new series, UPbuild Revivals. So next Saturday we'll have that. We're going to do a few other things. We're going to refurbish the lights. There's that gearbox problem to fix. There's the wheels. I want to show you how we're refurbishing the wheels. It's a dead easy way to refurbish the wheels without taking the tyres off to get a really good finish.
Make a good job of them, can you?
A good trick, a good card trick to show you there.
Yeah. Card trick, yeah, that's a card trick.
But yeah, I mean, there's loads of things to come. Let's say there's next Saturday at 6:30, we'll have the next episode showing you those things, and there's a few more things to follow after that. The following Saturday, we'll show you, go through the car, how much we've paid for it, how much we've spent on it, and we'll tell you how much we've made on it, how much we've sell it for.
Very good.
But,
Very good.
Anyway.
Press that thumbs up button.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Don't forget to press that. And subscribe if you haven't already. Like I say, plenty more to come. This is the first car. There's loads more cars to come in the UPbuild Revivals. But that's it for this one. See you on the next one.
Thank you.